Hey everybody, Canadian Operator here, and today I've got a real treat for you, courtesy of my buddy Max. We've got another handgun review. Of course, if you've already read the title, you know what it is, but it's one that is used and loved by police departments and militaries everywhere, including our very own Joint Task Force 2. And of course, that means today we're going to be talking about the Sig P226. Let's get started. All right, so the Sig Sauer P226, let's get started from the front to the rear, as always. But first of all, just to double check that the firearm is nice and clear, which I have proved it earlier before the video. As you can see there, nothing in the magazine. We've got nothing in the chamber. It's all nice and clear. And then, of course, through the mag well here as well, nice and clear. We're going to put the mag back in because we'll talk about it in a second. And we'll show you all around the firearm as we do it. So first of all, right at the very front here, we've got our front post sight. With this firearm, you've got your front post and you've got two rear posts. So very, very common, but it's just it would have been a little bit better if it had a tritium sight in it, a little tritium dot, which it does not. It's just like a little green dot that's kind of stuck in there. So if you have bad eyes like I do, in low contrast situations, that might be an issue for you. Moving on a little bit further here, we've got some serrations. Now these are just for looks, but the ones back here are a little bit better, which is nice. We'll get to that in a second. But as far as the serrations here, like I said, they're just for looks, but they look really, really cool. In fact, this whole gun is just made of a really nice, smooth, matte metal finish, and it just feels really great in your hands. We do have some openings here on the sides and the top to help to keep the barrel cool. And then on the bottom here, we've got a nice rail for all of your accessories. We've got a rectangular trigger guard. Actually looks really quite nice. I like these designs. It's a more modern design and it really kind of resonates with me. We have a pin right over here. That's going to be for the takedown pin, which will be on the other side of the firearm. So I'll show you that when we get there. And as for the rest of it, not really too much going on aside from those serrations there to give you a little bit more of that grip when you're trying to pull back the slide. Now, we're going to work our way towards the back. Of course, we have a traditional hammer here because this gun was made to replace the 1911, just a little bit more of a modern platform. So no striker fire on here like your Glocks, but still a lot of fun. And you can decock this the typical way, which is just by squeezing the trigger and slowly moving the hammer back forward. Or if you want, you can use the fancy secret weapon on the other side, which I'll show you right now as we move to the other side of the firearm. So there we go. Try to get a little bit more light on here for you. So again, the same serrations, the same openings here. We do have a 4.5-inch barrel in here as well, which I may have failed to mention. There are a variety of other kind of configurations available of the 226, but this one's got a 4.5-inch barrel. And then, as I said before, we've got the little takedown pin right there. There we go. And then, of course, we've got our decocker. So I'm going to show you how that works. If we were to cock the hammer there, of course, you can, typical, just grab it and decock it with the trigger, but you can also just decock it with the decocker, which is right there. So that is really, really nice. It's very easy to use, very fast. And then, of course, we do have our slide hold open over here, although we do have a last round hold open as well if the magazine is inside. Speaking of the magazine, we do have a mag release just right over here. Kind of hard to see, but if you press that, that magazine will come right out. You are going to have some polymer grips on this here as well, of course, on both sides. Now, I'm sure that there are other configurations on this firearm where you can get some nicer grips. These do have some texture to them that do feel quite nice, and it's honestly a nice relief of weight that you otherwise don't get because this entire thing is just completely made of metal. It does feel really sturdy and solid in your hands. One of the things that I like, of course, about that extra weight is that it allows you to get a little bit of compensation with the recoil. Now, it's a 9mm, it's not going to recoil a lot, but having something that's a bit heavier, sturdier, and of course, going with a higher grain projectile, you're going to mitigate that recoil just a little bit, and sometimes that's very helpful depending on how used you are to shooting pistols. For me, I'm a relative newbie with pistols, so it is actually kind of nice having something a little heavier, although I do get a little bit fatigued shooting this for long periods of time. But I do love the fact that this is a nice full-size pistol that fits my hand, that is very, very easy to use. Now, in terms of the price, fellas, it's definitely going to be up there, but as you know, if you've been watching my channel for quite a while, we are a wife-friendly gun channel here, and so as a result, we are not going to be discussing price. That being said, you can probably pick this up for about, I don't know, between 2 and 4 Ruger 1022s, let's call it that. But that being said, that is going to be the Sig Sauer P226 and in 9mm, 9x19. Hopefully you like this one. Let me know if you own it. And if you want to chat more about it, come and see us on Discord. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you found the video helpful and enjoyable as always. And if you think my content's worth it, please do become a subscriber if you haven't done so already. And make sure to ring the bell and like and share the video, as it really helps to get the content out to more people, especially in the days where YouTube is basically censoring everything about firearms. That being said, if you'd like to help me out in a more direct way, you can do so by using the super thanks button below to buy me a cup of coffee, or go and check out all of my original designs in my Etsy store where I have all my merch. Link is in the description, alongside the link to our Discord server, which is a growing group of gunnies, and it's a wonderful community. We would love to have you there. That was a very long and winded outro, but thank you for listening. Thank you for making it to the end. Please join me in the next video. And until then, happy shooting.